What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're going to be looking at MicroStrategy today, going over some indicators for BTC, and let's jump straight into it. So this week has been looking amazing. We finally broke out of this long-term downtrend. We got a bounce off the long-term trend line that we can see here on the weekly. This is looking super bullish. It's looking like a continuation of this pattern here. You can see every time we touch this bottom trend line, get that nice move up. Come back to it, nice move up, and rinse and repeat. That's what it looks like is happening. So hopefully it continues to play out that way. We all know MicroStrategy can turn around in the snap of a finger, and this could be a massive red candle with a wick. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's looking amazing right now. Textbook breakout. Obviously it's early in the week, so we don't know what's going to happen, but this is definitely a great start. And we got the bullish scenario that we spoke about. Push up, get that close on the daily, retest, and now make our way up to the 350 target. Let's see if we actually hit 350. If we don't, it's still okay. Honestly, it's whenever I call these levels, it's really just the next level that we could chop at or have some kind of resistance. And even then, that doesn't even have to happen because price can blow right through it and never retest it. But yes, whenever you break levels, it's usually you break the level, so it's a ceiling resistance, you break it, and then it acts as support, and price usually likes to touch that floor. So imagine you break through a ceiling. When you break through a ceiling going up, you have to come back down because gravity is going to pull you down to that floor, and then you can move on up to the next one, and so on. Gravity brings you back down, break through the next one. Comes back down, break through the next one. But that doesn't always play out that way. But when you have enough momentum, you can, in something like MicroStrategy, you can just blow straight through it and never retest anything. You can just go straight through it. But it looks to be playing out like the classic way. But I'm sure things will change once we get an insane amount of volume. So one thing that is a little, I mean, it's not even very concerning, but it's just where we could run into a little resistance is actually on Bitcoin, because we have this downward sloping trend line. We didn't get a touch yet, but you can already see price is already rejecting, and we haven't even touched this line yet, which is rejected price previously. So let's see if we get that rejection again and push price down, and then this is going to turn this into a wick and push us back down to this level. And maybe that's the real retest before we move up. On the SMAs, we're looking great on the daily. We're above all three. We got a strong bounce off the 200, which is a strong level of support and resistance, the moving average, with the horizontal level of support. A bunch of confluence in this area that essentially told us, hey, price has a strong chance of moving up, and that's exactly what happened. We broke above the 50 now. We got a solid close. We opened on top of the 50, and we closed above it. So let's see if we get a retest and move up, or we just continue blowing right past it. This is looking very bearish. Now there's less things on top of our head and acting as resistance, less ceilings. So now the next ceiling that we have to break along with this 350. So this is confluence on the bearish side, or not bearish, but towards resistance. So you have resistance on the moving average, the 20 week, which is a strong level of support and resistance for a continuation of the bull trend. And you have this resistance or this ceiling right here above price. So I think once we break above 350, there's really not much holding price down, and we could get a quick move up to 400. But like I said, nothing's ever guaranteed. So don't quote me on this. Don't come after my head in the comments or anything if it doesn't happen. It's just what I'm seeing on the charts. That's it. All right, on the weekly, this played out, I mean, perfect. Textbook right off the a perfect bounce off the Bollinger Bands right at the blue level. Now what we need to do is get a close above this blue, see if we get a retest, and move on up to this red. And on the daily, we are already outside of the red, which happened very quickly. As you can see, it only took a couple days, a couple trading days, and we went from the green band all the way outside of the red band. So MicroStrategy really gets moving quick. So one thing I do want to check out with the Bollinger Bands, because Bollinger Bands pretty much tell you when price is kind of getting extended or oversold. So it's overbought or oversold. Technically, you know, this would be overbought, but that doesn't mean that price has to stop here. It can ride up in overbought territory for a good amount of time. So we're gonna take a look at the last two run-ups just so we can get an idea that, hey, we don't have to touch the green band or we don't have to touch the blue band, you know? So this kind of looks similar to what we just did right here. We're here at this point. We're just outside of the red band. So we got a solid close above the blue, got a solid close above the blue here, and now we're outside the band. So as you can see, we got outside the band. Yeah, we came back in, but we kept hugging the band, the red band. It was acting as a magnet. And it was a magnet. We're riding up the red. You get like a little pullback. You pull back to the blue band, and then you keep riding the red. Pull back to the blue band, and keep riding the red, you know? So I could definitely see something like that happening, where the blue band curls up, the green band curls up, and we hug the red through the next rally. We have another rally here to give us an idea. I close outside the red. You don't really spend too much time outside of the Bollinger Bands on the bearish side or the bullish side. Here on the bullish side, pushing up, but we don't spend a lot of time outside of it. And then we always move close to the blue and continue hugging the red in these bull trends. Hopefully that's exactly what happens. That'd be perfect. We're already looking good. We started in pre-market a little bit lower, and now it looks like price is pushing back to where it initially started. Take a look at the volume. We're increasing slightly, not anything major, but it's good. We want to see a slow creep, and then once everybody hops in at one time, you'll see the volume will go insane, and we'll get those major spikes, and price will skyrocket, and the MNAV is going to go crazy. On the RSI, we're starting to look good on the RSI. We pushed to this mid level where we've had some previous bounces. As you can see, the midline here, and we went from overbought territory to like neutral territory, and now we're at the support and resistance moving average right here, this yellow band acting as resistance at the time. So now if we get this breakout and we can push above, that's going to give extra strength to the price on the weekly, which is a very strong time frame for long-term outlooks, which is what we do. So that'll give us some strength to the upside, and that can give us a sustained strength for, you know, a couple months potentially if this plays out and it slowly pushes over, you know, April, May, June, and then maybe we're in oversold territory sometime in, you know, April, May, or June. That would be nice. We see something like this where we see the green, maybe we get another double top like we got here, give us some bearish RSI divergence later on. So kind of lets us know that price is getting weaker later on. But right now, this is looking amazing. On the daily, even better. We're just riding up a trend line. This is perfect. We're just pushing up. Higher highs, higher lows, holding above the yellow moving average, showing that price is just increasing in strength and the move is about to be sustained potentially. The MACD on the daily is perfect. We're about to push into bullish territory, or we actually just cracked into it, I think. I don't know, it's too close to tell, I can't tell, but it's looking amazing. We're starting to get green candles. They're starting to push up a little bit higher. The MACD is the RSI with volume combined. So as volume kicks up, you'll see these candles increasing. And the RSI, it's pretty much, you know, the strength of whichever stock you're looking at. And now you can see strength was pushing down. We're getting weaker, 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 kind of holding sideways. We got extremely weak, and now we're increasing in strength, which is perfect. We want to see that blue line pushing up with the orange line following and holding underneath. Then we're going to go to some Fibonacci's, pull from this high to the bottom here. We had a perfect move to the 2618, so we'll push it here, see where we're at, to the bottom of this move. So from this move to the top here, 2618 is right where we have marked out. If you want, you can also take it a step further and pull it down further. So we can go from this leg, which moves up the golden zone a little bit more, pushes the price up to almost 1400. And if you want to take it even further, you can take it all the way down to this bottom, and it pushes the price up a little bit more, nothing significant. But as you can see, this is pretty much the target we're looking at because of the 2618 on the Fibonacci. That also lines up with the bull flags that we had drawn out. We got our bull flag, sideways downwards chop. You can use this measured flagpole to measure next move. Almost spot on to the T. Almost got you exactly to the top, which is awesome. And let's see if that happens out again, plays out again. So if that happens again, the 2618, which is looks like was a magnet here, let's see if it's a magnet here and it lines up with that flagpole. So you got two things pushing up into that direction, as well as the top of the channel here. So there's a lot of reasons why we think that could possibly play out. Doesn't mean it has to though. And then in terms of a continuation of a trend, we'll pull from the bottom of this move to the top of the move. And we got a perfect play off the golden zone, the 0.5 to the 0.618. The golden zone is key because it's a strong level of support or resistance. And in this case, acting as support to support the continuation of the uptrend. The higher the level, the stronger the move is, because there's no, pretty much shows that there's no seller. So if you make a move up here and you only push back to the 236 or the 382, that goes to show there's not many sellers and it's just straight buying pressure. But if you get a pullback here, it shows that there was a little bit more sellers, which it's true because there was a negative sentiment on MicroStrategy in this time period and in this time period. But this is still a strong continuation of the trend when you hit this golden zone, which is a 0.5 to the 618. And that's exactly what happened. We got a strong bounce, move up to the next level. And if we take it from this leg to here, we're right here at the golden zone. We got a bounce off the 618, so the bottom of the golden zone, and we're actually outside of the golden zone, pushing up higher. A continuation of price again, and then we're going to move it up on a smaller scale to the start of this move right here, to the top of this move. Pushed underneath the golden zone, closed back inside, and now we're pushing up, and we actually, on the daily, closed just outside of the golden zone, which is this line here, which is perfect because now that goes to show, okay, we got to push off the golden zone. It's acting as a level of support, how it's supposed to be doing, and price is respecting that. Now that we got to close, it's just like anything else. When you break and retest something, maybe this break turns out to be a little retest, and then we push and continue higher. So things are looking good, very bullish. The sentiment is still kind of neutral. It was super bearish previously, but I think it's neutral at the time. But the sentiment on MicroStrategy will probably start to change once we get, I don't know, maybe to the 450 or something like that, 500. Especially when we get to all-time highs, you're going to start seeing a bunch of positive articles. You may even start seeing the infinite money glitch thing again. But I'm super bullish on it. If you remain bullish on Bitcoin, you should remain bullish on MicroStrategy. It's really that simple. If you don't know much about MicroStrategy, I would take a look at some people's work and try and understand what it's all about and how it works. But I think it could be the best play on the market in terms of ROI. This was definitely a chance right here to hop in anywhere in here. Even now, it might still be a good opportunity, especially if it still goes up to 1100. I mean, let's say, for instance, if it goes to 1100, you still make 200% of your money. So that's all I have for you guys. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.